My overall favorite play is going to be Patrick Mahomes under 0.5 interceptions. In this video, you're going to find out why, along with 5 other picks within this game. And my second overall favorite play is going to be Isaiah Pacheco over 0.5 passing plus rushing plus receiving touchdowns. And in this video, we're going to be focusing on a specific strategy called correlating plays, specifically on these fantasy apps like PrizePicks, Underdog, Jock Market, and Parlay Play, and why this is a profitable long-term strategy. If you guys are brand new to this channel, stay tuned. We teach you how to become profitable long-term sports bettors through different strategies like correlation, also line comparing. And again, if you guys have no idea how to do that, we have tons of videos on this platform on YouTube, specifically geared towards you, a new sports bettor. So if you guys want to start from the very beginning, learn how to sports bet and learn how to become a profitable sports bettor, head over to our DFS 101 playlist. I have a ton of educational content. But specifically for this video, let's go ahead and dive right into why we have a profitable sports betting strategy right in front of us. This is through correlation. All right, correlation. Only advantageous in platforms or on platforms like PrizePicks, like Underdog, like Parlay Play, and Jock Market. I'm going to show you guys exactly why. In order to truly understand why correlation works with these fixed payout platforms like PrizePicks, we need to talk about the fundamental basics of their payouts, right? So let's go ahead and start out by just talking about Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco. Right now, we have them paired in a two-man power. Obviously, we can't just put these two together because you can't put just two people from the same team together in a parlay. But what you can see down below is that 2 correct pays out 3x, right? This payout does not change. So if I get rid of Isaiah Pacheco and I go over to, like, let's say League of Legends and I put in rest, over or under, it does not alter the payouts. This is why this platform differs from a traditional sportsbook, because traditional sportsbooks alter their payouts based on the individual player's odds to go over or under. On PrizePicks, they don't alter the payouts, right? Because they set projections and they have you place the over or under of certain projections. The same thing as sportsbooks, except they associate a line, the American odds line, so basically a price that you would pay for hitting the over or under of a specific player prop. On PrizePicks, the payouts never change. You're always going to get a 3x, regardless of a two-man power of the exact two-man power that you decide to play, right? So keep that in consideration when we move along this video and we talk about the strategy behind correlating plays. So payouts never change, right? And that really is with any sort of payout on this platform. We can go up to 6 picks. So if I go over to CSGO, I select an over or under of a play. Go over to WNBA, select a less than. MLB, playoffs are going on. Switching over to NHL. By the way, brand new today. The season just started, so all these props are completely brand new. And I just select any sort of combos. I will always get a 6 out of 6 payout of 25x, a 5 out of 6 2x, and a 4 out of 6 0.4x. Again, this is advantageous to know because payouts never change. And on these traditional sportsbooks, payouts are dynamic, meaning that they associate an American line, a price tag with every single prop, right? So our goal here is to figure out what these hidden American odds or implied odds are behind each leg, the price you would pay for each specific player, right? So if we take a look here, if we just get rid of these other legs and let's just say I enter a two-man power for a 3x, right? We need to see what that would look like in terms of implied odds. And I only know this because I've done this a million times. This is going to equate to minus 136, minus 137 implied odds because I put down 2 plays to pay out 3x, which is the exact same thing as a plus 200 parlay on a traditional sports book. But minus 136 implied odds, for anybody who doesn't understand what that means, it's literally just a price tag. But it's a pretty aggressive price tag that you're paying on individual player props, meaning that two-man powers really don't give you that much, give you the best bang for your buck, right? A lot of people like playing two-man powers because they're very easy to hit. But in this exact situation, we're showing you that really it's not giving you the best bang for your buck because minus 136 implied odds really indicates that PrizePicks is really not giving you that good of a price tag on these individual legs. But what if we took it a step further to find out what our individual legs are paying out for a 3-man, for a 4-man, for a 5-man, 6-man, maybe even some insured slips, right? And we've already dove way into the math here. And I'm going to shoot it to you straight. 6-man insured slips give you the best bang for your buck in terms of payout. I'm going to switch over here to my Google spreadsheet, which shows you the exact EV for each individual leg, given the percent odds to hit on each individual leg, right? So if we take, for instance, the casual sports bettor, the average sports bettor, and let's say that we're only hitting at a 50% rate because the average sports bettor is only hitting their individual legs at a 50% rate. Given, all the sports knowledge that we know, we simply cannot beat the books, especially if you're not observing the market and really beating them and taking advantage of the projections that are off, right? So let's just hypothetically say that we have a 50% hit rate here for each individual leg. You can see that long term, the ROI is negative, right? Like if we're hitting at a 50% rate on each PrizePicks leg in a 2-man power and a 6-man flex slip, we're not going to break even, right? But let's say that we hike this up to, let's say 52%. No, we're still going backwards in terms of ROI. How about 54%? Getting closer, but we're still negative. So I only know this because I've done this a million times. 54.21% is our break-even individual leg percent odds to hit. And that is actually quite tough to obtain, especially in the long run as you play on these DFS apps. Because again, the average sports bettor is only hitting at 50%. But what if I told you that hitting at an individual leg hit rate of higher than 54.21% is really not that hard, as long as you're implementing some sort of strategy in order to beat these books. And just to quickly show you how bad these 2-man powers are, because again, we're trying to hit at minus 137 implied odds, which breaks even at a 57.75 true fair odds percent. So look at the drop off here between the 6 flex and the 2-man powers. 57.75% individual hit rates you have to obtain in order to remain profitable in the long run for 2-man powers. But for 6-man flex slips, only a 54.21%. That's over a 3% drop. So you're getting more wiggle room here by just playing 6-man flex slips. And same thing with 5-man, slightly different, but you guys can see it's almost identical. Anyway, that's why we always recommend playing 6-man flex slips here in PrizePicks on PrizePicks' payout platform. Because it just gives you the best ROI percentage long term. And again, we're just simply squeezing out all the value that we possibly can and just recommending advantageous plays that are over a 54.21% individual leg hit rate, right? So the first play is going to be Patrick Mahomes under 0.5 interceptions. We're now going to dive deep into our next part of the strategy, which is correlating the plays. Because if we correlate plays together, we're going to organically increase each leg's individual percent hit rate by asking ourselves, how do these independent variables within the same game positively impact the outcome of each other? So right now, we're recommending that Patrick Mahomes is not going to throw an interception, which means what? Let's now talk about the next step, the next leg that we're going to recommend. Isaiah Pacheco over, let's just call it 1 touchdown, right? Whether it's a passing, rushing, or receiving touchdown. So he's going to find the end zone. But let's just use logic here and talk about the scenario in which Isaiah Pacheco is going to score a touchdown. More times than not, he's going to get a rushing touchdown over a receiving touchdown, right? Like he's utilized on the ground more so than he is through the receiving game. So if Pacheco is running the ball a lot, and especially in the red zone, that means Patrick Mahomes is less likely to throw an interception, correct? This means that these two individual players are positively impacting one another, otherwise known as positive correlation. Before putting these two together, let's just call them a 50% hit rate as it is. Let's say that Patrick Mahomes going under 0.5 interceptions is a 50-50 chance, and then Pacheco going over 0.5 touchdowns is also a 50-50% chance. But when you put these two together, and let's say that Patrick Mahomes does end the game going under 0.5 interceptions, how does that organically increase Pacheco's percent odds to go over his touchdown mark? Let's say that it only brings their percent chance to now, let's say 53% per leg, right? That's still not higher than that 54.21% or that 57.75% that we were looking for. But as you guys can see, these two are positively correlated, which means they're organically bringing up the percent odds to hit. But now let's take this one step further. Let's say that we throw in 4 other legs from the same game that also positively impact one another, right? And bring each other's percent odds to hit up even more. And now by including all these individual legs which positively impact each other, we're now organically increasing all these legs to go over that 54.21% odds to hit. And hopefully you guys can see where I'm going with this. But as you can see here, Patrick Mahomes is slightly favoring the under at 9% here, with slight juice to go under. So the percent odds to hit aren't exactly 50-50. This is slightly favoring the under. So I'm going to show you guys a really cool tool to use. This is called the DGFantasy correlation tool, where it automatically scans the entire market, finds the individual percent odds to hit on each individual leg, and then finds the most positively correlated combos within that same game to guarantee that we have profit here in the long term while also taking advantage of the fixed payouts here on PrizePicks, Underdog, etc. This is called the DGFantasy correlation tool, and as you can see here, if you were a $100 bettor back in August, you would be up over $33,000 by putting $100 on each specific slip, because we show you guys the most profitable slips here by recommending them here on our tool. So I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to reveal the correlation slip for this specific game, and the reason why I recommended under interceptions for Pacheco and Pacheco over 0.5 touchdowns. This is showing a profit margin of 102%, and also a custom correlation score of 84 out of 100. All you need to know is the higher the correlation score, the more correlated the slip is, and also profit margin and correlation score go hand in hand here. But as you can see here, Patrick Mahomes is heavily correlated with Pacheco going over 0.5 touchdowns, which is why I started my slip out the way that I did. But let's now take it a step further and see what specific plays are heavily correlated with these two plays from Kansas City. Russell Wilson over passing yards of 231.5. Let's go ahead and put him into our slip. And do you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put in every single leg that this is recommending and talk about why this is so correlated here at the very end of putting this together. All right, so I just put in every single leg here on this specific slip, relating back to our original point that the payouts are not changing here. 6 out of 6 is paying 25x, 5 out of 6, 2x, and then 4 out of 6, 0.4x. Now let's talk about why these are so heavily correlated. If Patrick Mahomes is not throwing the ball a lot and Isaiah Pacheco is rushing the ball a lot, guess what's probably happening within that game? The Chiefs are probably winning the game, right? Because they're trying to either one, run down the clock, or they're just relying on their comfortable strategy of just rushing the ball. Why would they put the ball in the air if they don't have to, right? So think about that. What is happening on the opposing side, right? The Denver Broncos are probably playing from behind, and they have to air the ball out because they're conserving time. They're trying to get big chunk yardage, and Russell Wilson is throwing the ball over 231.5 passing yards to one of his favorite wide receivers, Courtland Sutton. Also checking down the ball because he's in panic mode, and also possibly spreading the ball around to Marvin Mims. Literally that easy, guys. And what, again, the correlation tool is doing is scanning through each individual leg, showing you the heaviest correlation, and then showing you the profit margin if this were to hit. The goal here is to sweep, go 6 out of 6. We're going to go 0 of 6 plenty of times, but most importantly, we're going to sweep our cards more times than not to keep you profitable in the long run by simply correlating plays. If you were to play this as a single game parlay, right now on FanDuel, we don't have these individual player props on FanDuel, so I'm not able to physically show you, but these payouts would be 1000% altered to be worse than these payouts of 25x. I can't tell you how many times I've turned around and put these similar props I recommend in these videos onto a single game parlay, and they're reducing the odds down to like plus 2200, plus 2300, and that's, again, assuming that you sweep, right? We're getting insured payouts even if we only go 5 out of 6 or 4 out of 6 on top of the 25x going 6 out of 6. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. This is why correlating plays together is one of the best strategies to utilize on fixed payout platforms like PrizePicks. And keep in consideration that this tool is scanning through each player prop throughout the market, comparing these individual percent odds to hit on these individual legs, and then changing the game script and the recommended overall correlated slip based on those individual legs. So this might change in the next hour. It might change in the next 5 minutes. It might change right before lock. Once more injury news does come out. And that's the beauty of this tool. It's showing you the most profitable slip at any given time for each individual game. And more importantly, it's showing us for each DFS app. So if we take a look here, we're going to go ahead and give away another correlation slip in this video. This is going to be for Underdog. Underdog's optimal slip types are going to be your 5-man non-insured because they pay out 20x for only hitting 5 of your legs. When comparing the individual implied odds for each leg on their other payouts, on their other slip types, this provides the best bang for your buck here. And we're going to go ahead and reveal the 5-man non-insured slip for Underdog. And again, I had no idea what this looks like. This might look completely different from my PrizePicks one because, again, we're playing to the individual percent odds to hit on each leg and then running with those correlation legs within that game, right? So this one is Russell Wilson over 0.5 interceptions. And as you can see here, there's no other projections on the board, so this is showing you the most profitable slip as of right now. Right now, we only have interceptions, right? Patrick Mahomes under 286.5 passing yards. Interesting. Watson under receiving yards. Rice under receiving yards. and Pacheco over rushing yards. So this is actually kind of ironic because these are the exact same kind of game scripts. We're hoping that the Kansas City Chiefs get out to an early lead. They rely heavily on the rushing game, hence the reason why Pacheco is going over the rushing yard amount, and they're not passing the ball as much, right? So ironically, the exact same game script here, but given the player props on the board, this is the highest, this is the most correlated profitable slip here for Thursday Night Football. So again, if you guys want to see the most updated one, head over to our tool. I'll post the links in the description if you guys want to sign up for the correlation tool. But otherwise, if you guys did enjoy this content, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course, smash that like button for all of our future NFL content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.